Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, and today I'll be reading Multi-Character Listener by me. So let's get into it. Kokushibo. Kokushibo never really focuses on your physical attributes. Not that much. And his focus on that aspect came way later into your relationship. That's not to say he did not recognize the obvious and how beautiful you are. He just did not focus much on it. His focus was way greater on your personality, as that was what mattered most to him, and looks were secondary. But all in all, he feels like he won both. A great personality and a very beautiful girlfriend. So, when he notices, because of you wearing some tight shirts recently, just how big your chest is, no wonder he gets shy about it. He does not mean to look. He really doesn't. But it feels like his eyes are not looking away. No matter how much she urges them to, they stay focused on that one spot. And you don't seem to notice. Not at first. Which he is grateful for, as he did not want you to tease him about this. But one time he turned towards him so fast, and he has to look away, blushing brightly, fearing that he'd been caught. Little does he know that you caught him long ago. You were able to tell. After all, you noticed those eyes, almost ready to blow holes in your clothes from how hard they're staring. If they were lasers, they would have left a mark. But they were not, and you could still notice them. He was not the most subtle person around, that was for sure, and you had no idea he'd been noticed long ago, until you sat next to him, and then you hugged him gently, quiet. He melted into your arms, and then laid his head on top of your chest, letting out a soft sigh. He loves cuddling with you and getting to rest in your arms. And as you held him ever closer, kissing the top of his head, you knew he was getting what he wanted. And this is perfectly what you want as well. For him to be happy and be comfortable showing you love. You know, Kokushibo, next time you're staring, there's no reason to be so afraid of telling me. He blushes a little bit, which is unusual, but after a bit of silence, he nods. He needs to learn to be more vocal with what he wants and his own thoughts. It doesn't help that most of them are embarrassing, and that he does not know how to do this. But for your sake, he might as well just try anything. That's how much he loves you. Alright, Wyan. I'll do it. For you. Alright then, Kokushibo. I'll trust you. And you certainly do. You just need to give him some time. Muichirou. Muichirou was not perverted by any means, but it's safe to say that he noticed right away. And it always made him a little bit shy when you wore things that would show your big chest off. But he always tried to ignore it, and most of the time it was fairly easy. He didn't know just what was wrong with him today, or why he simply couldn't, why it seemed to be a difficult task, just trying to do this one thing that should not have been challenging by any means. He just did not want to stare too much. You were wearing a dress, a rather showy one, very, very extravagant, and also very tight. And as much as he wanted not to stare, it was getting progressively difficult to do something that should have been fairly easy. And you'd been able to do that before, so why not now? He was scared of you noticing. He was scared of many things. But most importantly, he felt embarrassed and shy. You looked beautiful, wonderful, so out of this world. And yet you still chose to be with him. He would love your brick chest. But sometimes all he wanted would just be something to rest his head on. And your chest would be perfect for that. So if you get him used to this, he may actually hug you and rest his head on your chest, which would feel heavenly. He wants to do that, but is too shy to do so. So when you sit next to him and hold his hand, it makes him blush a little bit. He's feeling nervous, more so than usual. And all of that can be attributed to how you're just looking right now. How you look amazing. How you're wonderful in many ways that he can't name. But you just pull him closer and closer, taking his face in your hands and pecking his cheek, looking at him. Muichirou, I just want to tell you that you look so lovely today. Moyan, I just look normal, he says. But you nod, surprisingly. I think you look lovely when you're just you. There's nothing you have to do to look more lovely to me. You tell him, and that alone melts his heart. And that's when you just pull him a little bit more closer. Take his head in your hands and gently make it so that he's resting it on your chest. He's blushing brightly when you do this, but he never objects. After all, it seems as though you could just seemingly read his mind. It's almost like you can. And it's very weird, but very lovely in its own way. He had never thought that you could have someone like you, that you would be there, doing this, for him, knowing just what he wants and trying to make him the happiest person in the world. But there you are, doing exactly that. And he feels the luckiest person just for having you and being able to have this.